Microsoft has now ended the Game Pass dollar deal. I mean, I figure for anyone here, right? Like we figured it was coming eventually, right? Like it was bound to happen eventually that they were going to have to shift away from that. It was a great deal for everyone that got into it, but eventually, like you can't keep just giving a service away for next to nothing, right? Like eventually you want to make some money off of your business. And I think with everything that's in there nowadays, I would say like even at regular price, it perfectly justifies the cost, right? Crazy Plume, Sour, Ecstasies. Do any of you feel like this is a negative thing? Like honestly, I think at this point, I think they've had plenty of time to get people in. I think they've gotten them comfortable with what offerings there are. Do you think this was a good time for it, or do you think this was too soon to shift to regular pricing? We'll start with Ecstasies on this.
Okay, in my opinion, personal opinion, of course, I think it's soon because you have to continue with your captation, but I have been reading that we have problems with the stock of Xbox Series X in USA. I don't know what's happening on that way, and I don't know if they think that, like you said, they are comfortable with the number of subscriptions, and now they are going to make an organic growth and stop the captation plan. But yeah, you have huge games this year. You can have that organic growth with Redfall, Starfield, maybe Activision, Blizzard King, all that stuff could be great additions for Game Pass. I think we are all agree that we are in the best year of Game Pass. We have every month very good games, maybe the best games of the month, with some exceptions like Hogwarts Legacy or Resident Evil 4, but Wolong, Atomic Heart, Hyper Rush, they are huge games, and you can have that organic growth. But if you don't have consoles, you stopped the promotions. I don't know what's happening, but I don't want to be negative. For me, it's not a negative new, but not a good new, just average.
Yeah,
A
I
promotion ended, and they will start a new promotion whenever.
yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing them bundling into the actual console deals, right? Because we haven't really seen much of that yet. You've seen a month here, a month there, stuff like that. But it would not surprise me if, like, we started seeing some of those deals hit. I don't know if they would do it with Starfield, but I bet you there are some bundles that'll come out where they're offering 6 months, maybe a year. That would not surprise me by any means. I do agree with you. I I do think like in a way maybe it was a little bit too early just going into the year that they do have, right? Like if you went into it and you got one or two launches ahead of you before you pulled the plug on the $1 deal, maybe you get more impulse buyers before you pull that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see that aspect as well. Plume, you look deep in thought. What do you think, man?
Yeah, no, I'm always deep in thought. No, I think it's been they launched it. I think 2017, the $1 deal. We everyone knows that this isn't going to last forever. It's a $1 deal. One of the main things I think that they pulled it was because of all the abuse that was going on with it, with like the people using the gold and upgrading and getting all these months free of Xbox Game Pass. But is it too early? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like we're at this point now where Game Pass has established itself. There's so many great games in there that the people that want to sign up to play Game Pass are going to go and they're going to sign up. They don't need to be lured in by the $1. And I think also, like Ecstasies was saying, it's the best year that we've seen so far with Game Pass. And there's still Starfield and Redfall and Forza Motorsport, all of these huge first party games that are going to be launching. I feel like they're looking at this and they're thinking they don't really need that marketing promotion of $1 to lure people in to sign up to Game Pass, and they want to get people who are gonna just sign up for 1 month to play Starfield or whatever, or just to sign up onto the regular Game Pass thing. And then on top of that, I feel like they're going to be releasing that family plan soon, which may be something as to why they got rid of the $1 deal too, to try to get people to just be focusing on signing up. I think from what we understand, based on other prices around the world, it's going to be about $25 in the US. So that's an incredible deal alone. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. Honestly, I think it's fine. I think it was coming and it should be expected. They're going to take that away eventually.
Yeah, it might also be good timing if you take that away. The fact that, like, if you're bringing the family plan, like you mentioned, right, you don't want to muddy the waters for people to understand like what they're paying into the services.
Yeah.
And so if you still have that $1 deal, but you're like, oh, no, 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 that only accounts for this specific version of it, maybe they view that as like it could cause issue with the communication and trying to explain like what you're actually paying for those specific services, which ones are compatible with that $1 deal, stuff like that. Maybe it clears the communication and clears the message a little bit.